Hello everyone, welcome to Career Launcher, and we have met in the afternoon for MyCat. Now we are here again for detailed analysis of Snap 2025, and I have Abhilasha ma'am with me, and both of us
Hi.
have written in the exam in the same slot at same center. Okay, ma'am. So,
We're
ma'am,
meeting again for the third time today, Shashank. All
yes, yes, yes,
exciting world, huh?
yeah. So
Yeah,
let's start. So after this,
absolutely.
huh.
So for
So
all those who joined us, how was the exam for you? काफी सारे लोगों ने तो join कर लिया है. So all those who've joined us, do tell us how was the exam for you? How did you find it? I mean, we have our own inputs about it, but definitely आपका भी input होगा, तो वो बताओ कैसा रहा?
so how was it? What do you think? What went right? What went wrong? So Ashwin is saying easy. Advika is also saying it's easy. Okay, very nice to hear. Okay,
Yeah, that's.
so attempted 54 Naman. Okay, very nice, very nice. Uh, Keshav raised a very valid point. It was quite easy, so he's scared that cutoff might go high. And Shashank is saying 50 cutoff at least. Okay, expected cutoff. We'll come to that, Ashwin. So it's easy. So basically, the paper is, ma'am. How did you find?
Shashank, I think there is only one word to describe it: cakewalk. I
True.
think there is nothing else to be said. I'm sure you also will agree with me when you looked at the paper. You were like, how can this paper be any easier? And I would get my answer as no, it's just not possible to make this any easier than this. So of all
Right.
the snaps that I have seen, probably this was the easiest one ever.
I I started solving it and I finished my whole paper in I think 42 minutes and that was it. So as compared to last year, I thought in last year I spent quite some time in QA. That was I spent somewhere around 20-25 minutes in QA, 25 minutes around. So it took me an hour to finish the paper, but this year everything was done in QA in 15 minutes. Uh,
Exactly. And every year when I write Snap, I'm not able to do a lot of maths questions. But this time there were so many maths questions that I was able to do. And I was like surprised at myself that it was just so many questions that just absolutely simple and just logic, not even maths. I did not use any formula because I don't remember any, but it was just absolutely a cakewalk sort of a paper. So, yes, I'm sure all of you would have. See, Shashank is saying, I finished the whole paper in 48 minutes. Naman is saying 50 minutes. God, Shashank, is there something wrong with us, or is it that the paper was just too easy?
Paper was way too
I'm
easy. So if you know it and you know the worst part in quant and there was one LR set that was looking it was very difficult. There were I think you remember that question, there are 6-7 people are sitting, number of people who are sitting are not given, and there is a statement that yeah, B is sitting immediate right of E, and what is the possible arrangement. So basically look at the options. There in only one option, B sitting immediate right of E, you get the answer. Just look at the options. So paper was definitely easy if you are solving through the options. So I would say
absolutely the paper
okay,
was
Bhavi
very much
has
easy. For verbal also, oh, somebody says they saw you in the Sector 64 center. Oh, yes, guys, we did meet a few people in the center. I think Shashank and I were there in the paper. So, yes. So that was the interesting thing. So if you look at the paper, Shashank, एक बार जल्दी से इसका slot one का let's go through the sectionals and how many questions were there. Of course, it did not change. There were 15 questions in English, 25 in AR and LR, and 20 in DIDS, making up a total of 60 questions. Analytical, there were 15 questions, and logical, there were 10 questions. So that is the breakup here. Marks again remained the same as 15, 25, and 20, total to 60 marks. There is a one-fourth negative here, so that of course was clear. 60 minutes, the difficulty level from what we have understood is very, very easy. Number of doable questions, there were about 12 in English, there were about 20 in reasoning, and there were about 16, I think, Shashank. What would you say? That was your section and your baby. So I would not really know how
Uh,
many you have.
in reasoning, we got some questions of arrangement, blood relation, clocks, calendars. Uh, Definitely easy questions. And after that, you come to QA. In QA, you have not too much of geometry. There was one question of geometry that was related to percentage only. Uh, Apart from that, you had some question, a couple of question of TSD, couple of questions of PNC. So overall, if you are going to continuously looking at the options, then you are going to get the answers quickly. So Blue is saying that it was too easy. Yes, I completely agree with this, and because of that, cutoff will be high. Yes, cutoff is
Absolutely.
going to be high. Last year, I think SIBM was at 43ish around. So over the period of time, we have seen cutoffs for SIBM Pune or SCMHRD were close to, I think, 41, 42, 43, 44. It has never gone above 45. But this year, I think it is going to go above 45. Paper was easy. And as you see, everyone has attempted, someone has attempted 50 questions, 55 questions. So these kind of things people have done. So cutoff is definitely going to be higher. Uh, uh, in contrast to cat, everyone has done very bad in cat. Now everyone has done very well in snap. So now people are scared about के okay, ये तो बहुत आसान था. लेकिन cat,
Actually, when the paper is very easy, Shashank, it's always very dicey because then you
yes,
definitely know that the cutoffs are going to be very high. So I always feel that a moderate paper is always better for students than a very difficult paper or a very easy paper. Both ways, it is very difficult. It becomes very, if it's a very easy paper, then cutoffs go very high. And if it's a very difficult paper, then even the moderate students can't really do well, in which case also a lot of people suffer because of that. So
right.
that's why generally if a moderate paper comes, then it's easier. But now that it is an easy paper, what do we do? But there's a very interesting question that Sampurna has asked. Will the other slots be tough, Shashank? That's a very
Uh,
dicey question because I want you to answer this question, then I'll give you my take on this also.
so basically, Sampurna, I don't know. Next slot is going to be easier or difficult. There are going to be three slots, and they have clearly mentioned that they are not going to normalize the slots. So if there is no normalization and next paper becomes difficult, it means that is going to be little unfair to the people who are attempting in the second slot, not as compared to the first slot. So I don't think they are going to change the difficulty level a lot. Difficulty level expected is to be similar because over the previous years we have seen the difficulty levels have not gone up, they have not gone down. So 19-20 का फर्क पड़ेगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होगा.
Exactly. Also, if you notice, the instructions on the paper actually said this also, that all three slots, what they try to do is make the three papers almost equal in difficulty level. And that is why Snap doesn't do normalization. Right, that was there right in the beginning. When you read the instructions say that also. And actually there isn't much difference in the three papers at all. From what I have seen last year also, the year before also, generally the papers remain almost similar. So that's definitely there. Okay, another question. How will they manage quality of students now, Shashank? What do you think? If everyone is scoring so high, even 1 mark will create difference of 2
Eventually,
percentile.
they are going to eliminate people in the interviews. Not if everyone is scoring very similar, then everything will come down to that group exercise and your interviews. So everything is going to be dependent on that thing, because if everyone is scoring same, then I don't think they can eliminate people on the basis of score. So in that case, if everyone is scoring high, that group exercise is going to become very difficult. So in that, they are going to eliminate it.
Correct. That's very right. The PI process, of course, is always very detailed, and therefore there is lots of time and space there that they have. So others say 60 attempts, 52 correct, 8 wrong, completed in 40 minutes. Well, whatever you have done, you've done it. Now we're not really looking at it. Okay. One more question. Yashi says, what was the answer of the figure of speech in shift to Shashank? Are you going to answer?
I can answer that question, but more likely I know I'm going to be wrong, but
I think the
still.
answer to that was a metaphor because there was a comparison which was given, but without using a word of comparison, and therefore it was a metaphor. The train wreck question was the figure of speech, so that probably was a metaphor.
That
All
was not
right.
hyperbole.
So, sorry, Kya Shashank?
That was not hyperbole.
No, that was not a hyperbole.
Okay. I got that one wrong then.
All right, okay. So see, now you understand this is how it will happen. Very slight differences, and then people will get their answers wrong.
Yes.
All right, so let's quickly look at the English section. We'll start with my section, and then I'll leave the field open for Shashank sir, where he can discuss all his hundreds of questions, which I'm sure you guys are waiting to answer or hear from him. So the verbal section or the general English section had one sentence jumble, which there was a sentence on some sentence, very sweet sentence, which said the persistent inflation coupled with the sluggish industrial output has led many economists to believe that a significant course of correction is needed in the nation's fiscal policy. So that was the question. The answers should have started with S and then gone to Q and then subsequently wherever. Then there was a question on idioms again, which was a very moderate sort of a question, where you had a sentence and uh, uh, the a bird in hand is better than two in the bush, and too many cooks those questions were there. Then there were fillers were there. Interestingly, there were 8 fillers this time, and they ranged from easy to moderate. None of them were difficult, and around 6 of them were very doable. The fillers were, some of them were grammar based, so there were fillers which were on prepositions. There were some fillers which actually asked you for the third conditional. So sorry, not the third conditional, the past perfect rule, where you have two events that are happening one after the other. So there was that. Then there was some adjective based fillers also. So a number of fillers were there which you could have done based on grammar and vocabulary. Then idiomatic fillers were also there. So that. Then there was contextual vocab. So one sentence was given in which one word was underlined. There was something like perspicacious, and you had to identify what the correct replacement would be for that. That again was an easy question. Then there was one question on parts of speech, which Shashank, I think you have also done the parts of speech question, which I think you probably did. From what we discussed was, I think, resounding success. That was the question. So that, of course, resounding was an adjective there. So you should have picked that as your answer, right? So. How did our pictures change out? That's very interesting. Anyway, so that was a question. Then figure of speech, there was one question. So that was a metaphor. And then passive voice, there were 2 questions. So you had to convert 2 sentences from active voice into passive voice. Now, this is a slightly tricky question because people generally don't prepare well for this, and therefore you might have not done this as well as you could have. So I have said one is a doable question, one you would have you might have left. Then so that sort of rounds up my 15 questions, out of which you would have done 12 fairly easily. Yes, the word ending with ing was a gerund. No, the resounding was the question. So resounding success, that was an adjective there, right? So It could have only been a gerund if it were functioned as a noun. Please understand, a gerund is a noun. So it should have been there as a subject or the object of a verb or the object of a preposition, which resounding was not. See, the phrasing was resounding success. So success was the noun, resounding was the adjective there. It is not a gerund there. Please understand. So it was functioning as an adjective. At best, if they had given participle, then you could have marked it as a participle. It was not a gerund. So please, I hope you did not do that. Did not mark it as a gerund. Okay. So weapon and armory, yes, that was warehouse and merchandise. That should have been the correct analogy. Warehouse and merchandise. The question on illicit, the correct answer should have been elicit. Elicit means to draw a response, and illicit means illegal, and illegal or immoral. So we are not looking at something being illegal or immoral. We are looking at some drawing out a response. So therefore, the answer should have been elicit and not illicit. So that was fourth right, and elicit, that would have been the correct answer there. Okay. All right. So let's go to Shashank's section, which is the reasoning section. Shashank, shall we look at the reasoning section?
Uh, so in reasoning, what
Let
we
me
can
start
see,
off, I think. हाँ, चलो
that's
मैं ही
yours.
start off कर देती हूँ.
Course of action, cause effect, analogy, syllogism, statement assumption. These are your topics.
Yes, yes, that is what I just realized, that after asking you, I realized that ये तो मेरे ही सारे topics हैं. So, uh, so if you look at these 10 questions, 10 questions थे जो from what I teach, there were 2 questions on course of action, which were quite doable. Very interestingly, there was one office problem where there is an office and people, the Sunday there is an international cricket match, and the next morning people don't come to office. So what should the office do? There was a question based on that. Then there were 2 cause effect. So these were both very doable questions. Then there were 2 cause effect questions. Again, both were very simple. You would have been able to see the causal relationship between the two. The analogy question, of course, was warehouse and merchandise, because weapons are kept in an armory. Similarly, merchandise is kept in a warehouse. That was the relationship. The syllogisms, again, both were very simple. In fact, the second syllogism is a question that we have done in class. That is there in our sheet also. No pen is pencil, that question. So of course, so that was a very, very easy question, and very easily doable. Then statement assumptions, there were 3 questions on statement assumption. Again, fairly easy, not very difficult to solve. So all of my section in reasoning were questions that were mostly doable, were not questions that you could not have done. And there was one decision making question in which you are the librarian, and there is a person who comes to the library and he wants to issue a book. You know, it is a book which is very rare and very much in demand, and you know that this person is also somebody who's always late in returning the book. So what would you do as a decision maker? That was again a question. And again, very clear cut solutions were given. The options were such that you would have been able to see what the correct answer is very, very easily. So that was that. All right, here are your questions, Shashank. Take a
Hmm?
look.
Huh.
Take a look. Your questions, series, blood
Series,
relation.
there were 2
Yes.
questions of series in reasoning. Let me see which questions we are talking about. Do we have the questions? I think yes.
I think
Uh,
towards the end we also have the questions.
yeah. One question was AP, one question was geometric progression. In geometric progression, what kind of question we had? That was the easiest question I have seen. And why I'm saying easiest one, that the question is saying that third term is 12 and sixth term is 96. So basically I can directly say that common ratio is going to be 2. Okay. Now third term is 12. So first term is 3, next term is 6. Now question says what is the sum of 6 terms or 5 terms. Now, first term is 3, and apart from that, all the terms are even. So, what is the total summation we are going to get? We are going to get odd, right? So, there is one option that is odd. So, I got the answer easily, very quickly. So, I didn't even calculate the other terms. I got the answer. Now, the second question was Sn is given as it was arithmetic progression. It was term is given as n square plus uh, 4n. Now you need to find out ninth term. So sorry, you need to find out 10th term. So how can you calculate 10th term? Summation of 10 terms minus summation of 9 terms is going to give you 10th term. There was that can easily be calculated. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am solving the questions of quant. This is not quant. This is a reasoning. So in reasoning, there was a series 7, 8, 12, 21, 37. So difference of 7, 8 is 1. 8 and 12 is 4. 12 and 21 is 9. So the difference is a perfect square. So now next term is 37, next term is going to be 62, and that is what how I am going to get. And next series was 5, 6, 14, 45, 184. So second term is into 1 plus 1, next term is into 2 plus 2, next term is into 3 plus 3, next term is into 4 plus 4, the next term is going to be into 5 plus 5, and you can easily calculate. So these kind of questions we got. In blood relation, there were two questions, and both the questions were extremely easy. One was what is the relationship between Q and S? So that was sister that we got, and there was one more question, and I think that was great grandfather. So these kind of questions we got in GK. What is GK? Uh, what is librarian office question? I don't know.
The
Uh,
answer for the library question, I will tell you. The library question, you should have, she should have, I think, uh, given him the book for a shorter duration with a strict warning, because of course you do not want to ask a person to leave and not give him a book. So therefore you would give him the book for a shorter duration and give him a strict warning. So the library question, that should have been the answer. For the office question, the question was that should the company suspend the people? Of course, the company will not suspend everybody who took leave. That doesn't make sense. So you were not going to suspend anyone. And to issue a formal warning to all employees for not taking leaves, it makes sense. So you would do the second option. So therefore, there the answer should have been only two follows. So those two questions, those are your two questions. Sorry.
I
Sorry,
know I
Shashank.
got
बीच
that.
में
No, no, it's fine. I got the answer right. I'm happy now.
All right, here are some more of your questions: coding,
So
decoding, and
the
calendar
the
and
clock
clocks.
the clock one was very easy. It was what is the time at three? What is the angle between the hands at 340? There is direct formula that is 30 into r minus 5.5 into minutes. Just put the values, you are going to get the answer. 30 into r means HOUR.
Acha, oh, okay.
Right
So
H, right H. So 30 into
if
r minus 5. Calendar was again just remove the multiples of 7 and you are going to get the answer in this. In coding decoding, we had some questions. I don't remember the answers of those questions, but they were clearly there. So you don't have to. Yes, with him the answer is 130 over only. So. So this is what we got, and irregular hexagon answer is 120. So and Yoshi is asking M250. Yes, that is the correct answer of alphanumeric series that was asked in the exam. So I got M250. What was the idiom? I don't know. What is the idiom we are talking about?
the the idiom question, I think that was too many cooks spoil the broth. So that
Oh,
should have
I
been
got
the idiom question.
okay.
All right. So here is again your section, Shashank, QA, DI, and DS. Uh, would you like to take everyone through the section?
So PNC, we had two questions. Log is the means in log. These questions I have seen, they are quite doable. SICI, if you can't assume the values, then I think it is going to be a lot trickier. I have directly assumed because second year it is 8840 and third year it is 9261 or something like this. So what I did in the exam, I have assumed that principal is 8,000 and rate of interest is 5%. I calculated that and I saw whether I am getting the accurate value after 2 years. So both values matched. So I marked the answer as 8,000. And if I talk about coordinate questions, so one was straightforward, talking about what are the roots. The quadratic equation, it is talking about the at y equal to 0. So basically, anyhow y equal to 0. So two options are eliminated. Now it is talking about what are the roots, what are the values of x. So you got the answer like this. That is 1030. There was another question that was line, and the question is talking about the line of perpendicular. So just look at the options. So slope of the 2 points that was given, I think that was 3 by 2, and slope of perpendicular line should be minus 2 by 3, and see which option is giving you the slope of line is minus 2 by 3. The distance between two boats was 73. That was the answer. SICI was 15,000. I don't know which question you are talking about. I'm not sure that uh, uh, it was Sarthak. Yes, we are talking about shift 2 questions, not shift 1 question. I have written shift 2. Ma'am also have written shift 2. So if you have written shift 1, then you might think the answers are some random. So CK study, you are saying 15,000. I'm not sure 15,000 was even in the options.
All right,
So
here are the next set of questions also.
in PNC, there was one of the answers that was 480, and another one was, I don't remember the answer accurately. In TSD, the boat once one vote is coming like this, second vote is coming like this, one person is running like this, second person is running like this. After how many hours, the distance between them will be 75. So answer is 3. And there was a boat question. So in boat question, the distance between the 2 points is going to be 24. That was it. That was given over here. The remainder one was the easiest question. Just divide the option 1 by, I got first option is 17. Divide 17 by 7, remainder is 3. Divide 17 by 5, remainder is 2. I got the answer then and there, and every number was greater than that. So, and it was looking for the smallest number. So I got the answer very quickly in that way. Now, the very first English question, Arjun, I would say that first question and second question would have been different for all of us.
Yeah. The first question
So
for me was a para jumble in English, the sentence jumble, to be very honest. So, what was your first question, Arjun? We don't know.
These kind of questions we got. Now, if you want me to answer any specific question, I can tell you which. Uh,
Here are
um,
some questions, Shashank, that you are supposed to be answering. See, we've got a few memory based questions. So, why don't
so
you
the
answer
answer
this one? I think this is a.
the answer of this question is, I think it is 6. I got the answer is 6. There were six people are sitting between V and S. I might be wrong, but in the arrangement, I got 6 people.
Okay, there's one question that somebody has been asking very desperately. I will answer this one. So, the young entrepreneur invested his entire life saving into his new tech venture, even though the market analyst said it would fail. He decided to go for broke. That is the correct answer here. Not toe the line. Toe the line means to follow others, right? Or pass the buck means to excuse yourself or to pass it on to somebody else. And play it by the ear is just do it randomly. So, none of those would be the correct answer. The correct answer is go for broke. That means to invest all your savings on one deal, which is what this one has done. So therefore go for broke is the correct answer. It's not a random medium, Shana. All right, Shashank, shall I take you to the next question? Here you are. A
Yes.
person's birthday is
Look,
on 25th July.
I'm not saying that my answer is right. This is what I got. There are chances I might have miscalculated. Now, in this question, I got my answer as Tuesday. I might be right, I might be wrong, but more likely the answer is Tuesday. Yes, yes, yes. The hmm. So my accuracy is generally not the 100% one. So A, how is A related to E? So I got the answer is great grandfather. Mm, So not a lot of answers I'm going to get wrong. Are wrong. Couple of questions might be wrong, but not all. Now let's move on to the next one, ma'am.
Yes, this
Uh,
is that four pilots
and
question.
that answer is Leo.
Your answer is
Leo, Leo.
Leo. Okay. All right. I'll take you to the next question. Three-member committee from a group of 5 men and 4 women.
So that was, I think, 5C2. The answer is 40.
Answer is 40.
40, 40.
5C4. Okay. 5C4. The answer has to
Into
be 40.
4C1. 5C4, 5C2 into 4C1.
Sorry. 5C2,
Into 4C1.
4C1. Okay. And the answer will be
That's 40.
40. Huh?
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Now, slowly, slowly, I am also becoming an expert in maths just because I am breathing your company, Shashank.
This answer comes out to be -1.
The answer will be
-1.
-1. All right. Wonderful.
Please, I will come back to your question. This is 480.
This is 480. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. 2 men and 4 women. I was trying to answer this question, but I could not. Okay. Here is your watch question.
It was, I think, 1023-ish something. 1023-20.
10, 23, 20.
20. Yes,
Okay.
Tirth, yes, Yoshi. The answer was another question was 2A plus B. Yes, the answer was 2A plus B. Now the next one.
Yes, I will bring you to the next one. Okay. Experienced investor in Mumbai. Oh, this is one of my questions. So, an
Yes.
experienced investor in Mumbai watched a dozen new fintech app launch in the same month, all competing for the same user base with minor feature difference. He decided to invest in none of them because he's saying too many cooks spoil the broth. That means if there are too many entrants or too many players, the market will get disturbed. So that's his correct answer. That's the correct answer. I'll give you another one. Okay, this was the one that we've already discussed. Large number of employees took sick leave on Monday, a day after the major televised international cricket match. There were two courses of action. Company should suspend, of course not. Management should issue a formal warning. Yes, that would be the correct course of action. So, all right, Shashank, your game, the snap past year cutoffs.
The past year cutoffs of Snap were 90. I'm not worried about that 99.9 percentile or 99.5. I'm going to be worried about that how at what marks SIBM gave call. So SIBM gave call somewhere around 42 to 43. Or I would say 41.5 something. So if you are scoring above 41.5 or 42 last year, it is fine. But I think this year it is going to go up to at least 45 to 46. It is because paper is far more easier as compared to last year. So cutoff are going to go high. Yes. At what score we should look SCMHRD. So 47, 45, 46 in that range. And I would say 47, 48 for SIBM Pune. So close call is there. Now people have attempted higher, but there are going to be a lot of people who will be scoring a little less. SIBM Bangalore is going to give you a call at last year they gave a call at close to 34, 35-ish, maybe 36. But this year you can expect a jump of at least 3 marks, so 37, 38, or 39. 39 to 40, you can say it is a safe score for SIBM Bangalore. So that was there. And English might be a little more trickier. So you might think that you are going to score a lot in English, but English might be little trickier this year. So
Well,
uh,
yes. English
so
is
is
really here.
so English, in English you might get a little less score, but still cutoffs are going to rise this year. It's for sure. Safe score for SCMHRD, I would say 47, 48. 47, if you are getting 48, then more likely it's 99% chances that you are going to get called from SCMHRD. So, but again, we don't have the concrete data, so we can't make a guarantee that this is the actual marks, but expected score. Tirth, I am going to say 99.9 is definitely going to be at least a 54 above,
Right.
because
I think so too, Shashanka.
there are going to be a lot of people who are going to score a lot, and 99 percentile is going to be somewhere around close to 46 ish, 46, 47 ish around. So last year at the score at which gave people 99.9, this year it is going to give you close to 99.1, 99.2. So this is what happened in today's exam. So if it is Shania, you don't understand. I have written last year, I have written this year. I have seen the difference. And I struggled to finish the paper in 1 hour last year. This year, I finished it in 40 minutes. So if I am able to finish in 40 minutes, then a lot of people would be able to do it in 50, 55 minutes. Right. And I don't get any benefit in finishing in 40 minutes. Right. So if people are having spending 10, 15 minutes more than me and scoring more same as me, so yes. And this is what, and the worst part, when people say I want easy paper, I want easy paper, so when you actually get easy paper, then cutoffs shoot up.
Yes, and then it becomes a very difficult paper because ultimately the results become very difficult to catch. So yes.
And what happens that when you say paper is very difficult and everyone is crying, then if you have done the reasonable amount, then you generally outperform people. In CAT, a lot of people were crying, I screwed up paper, I screwed up paper. But when they have seen others score at even at a lower score, they are getting high percentile.
Yeah.
So this is what happens. Shania, I would say it is going to be similar. I won't say it is going to be a lot. Now
Yes.
try to understand that a snap score out of 60 is going to be converted to 50. So once you get a call, you are getting 54 or 50 or 45. Your actual score will not make a huge difference. Right. The main thing where you need to focus now is going to be your personal interview, because that has 40% weightage, and that's huge. Because once you get the call, your snap score is out of the picture, because anyone who's going to get a call, they are going to have a range between 3 marks, 4 marks. So those 3 marks are actually not going to make a huge difference. So what exactly is going to make a difference in your final selection is going to be personal interview after the call. And groups exercise, just don't do very bad in it. If you are doing reasonably good, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you're so right. You do reasonably good.
so you
Remember,
don't
it's a
have
group exercise.
yes, don't screw it up. And Tirth, if you are going to get 98.5 percentile, generally SIBM calls at 98.5 percentile, SCMHRD also calls at 98.5 percentile. So yes, you are going to be eligible for SCMHRD as well as SIBM. So, and as you know that the PDP personalizes live, so in CAT you have already seen that even an average score, the score at which you were crying that I got a very bad score, now eventually that turned out to be a decent or good score. So you are also going to get calls for the IMs. Even at a score of 60, 65, you are going to get a very reasonable percentiles, 95ish, 95 plus. So this is high time to start preparing for your interviews. For anyone who were very confident about CAT, but unfortunately screwed up CAT. So for that, the second best exam, I would say that ZET and ZET classes are also
Well,
live. Uh,
absolutely. So you can just join us for 999 only, 20 plus live sessions, 10 plus strategy, 8 full mocks, and 12 sectionals. So there is a lot that is happening there. All right. One question,
um,
Shashank, answer for Tirth. What different shall he do for NMAT now that SNAP is over and CAT is over?
I would say just go and write in.
Yeah.
Nothing much. It is, and one thing I tell people that when you have last 1.5 minutes left and you have 6 or 7 questions left, don't read any question. Just mark anything randomly in last 1.5 minutes. Even if you get 1 or 2 questions right in those 6, 7 attempts, then your score is going to be good. Leaving, if you are going to leave the questions in mat, it is going to consider those questions as wrong. So in last 1.5 minutes, even if you solve, it's no guarantee that you are going to get it right. So just uh, randomly select that any question, and don't leave any question unanswered. Sahil, in SIBM, I don't think there is a reservation of any type.
No, no. SIBM, I don't think. SIMB institutes don't have. Uh,
Any reservation.
yes.
Yeah.
Tirth,
Uh,
it's your choice of sequences.
this year, I have personally gone for verbal, then reasoning, then quant. And this was my attempt. And this time I scored the highest over the years in quant. And I was able to clear all the cutoffs as well.
That verbal is the better section for all of us to attempt.
The first one. So I have gone and I am a little confident in quant as well, that even if I'm tired, I'm able to do well in NMAT or in any exam. So even if I'm tired, I can do well. Tirth, once as soon as you are done with the exam, you are going to see the scorecard, and once you come back to your home, and after 2 hours or 3 hours, you can download from the official website. So yes, on the same day you are going
All
to
right.
get your score.
All right, Shashank, I think we are almost done with the session now. Shall we
Yes,
wrap it up?
I would
Yeah.
say that I would pick the last this
Yes, yes.
48 plus
Yeah.
can be considered the safe score for SIBM. I would say more likely yes.
Yeah.
And
All
with
right,
this,
that's it.
let's
So
wind up the session.
yes, let's wind up. Thank you everyone for joining up with us. I hope this session was helpful to you, and that you will, for all those who are writing the next two snaps, that you will take advantage of whatever we have told you here, and also do join us for the next analysis for next weekend snap and the subsequent weekend. Thank you so
Right.
much. Bye
Again,
bye.
both of us going to write again.
And we'll see you at the centers.
Yes, yes. Okay. Bye.